A Cat's Tale by Janine Bates of Springfield, 2250. Narrated by Janine Penfold. I was born on Wednesday, 1st of September, 2010, at the Rossmore Animal Shelter, where I was named Layla. I guess someone there must have liked Eric Clapton. From birth, the ancient poem Wednesday's Cat is Full of Woe described my life perfectly. At Rossmore, I lived in a large cage with 15 other homeless and unloved cats where, excepting for feeding, watering and toileting, the staff there had little time to interact with any of us. As a British silver tabby, being aloof is second nature to me, and over time I mastered my inborn stiff upper lip and became very withdrawn and self-contained. On 23rd of September 2011, when I was just over a year old, I was desexed. A pretty painful procedure, but I didn't want kits anyway. So, as I practice acceptance, it was a good outcome. During October 2011, a family with 2 boy children rescued me from Rossmore and brought me to live with them on the central coast of New South Wales. The children were loud and boisterous and assumed I wanted to be chased from room to room, pulled from underneath beds by my tail, and generally pummeled and prodded. I ran away and hid at every opportunity and dreaded them coming home from school each day, especially when they burst paper bags near me when I was trying to sleep. That was very scary. They also thought it was great fun to stamp their big boots near me or barricade me in cardboard boxes. That was the most frightening part of my daily life, as they did it at every opportunity just to see me bolt away and hide. Thanks to Cat Heaven, my adoption didn't last long. On 9th of December 2011, a most fortunate day for me, the boys' mother discovered them tormenting me and thankfully removed me from their home. And so, I was back in a shelter, this time the RSPCA at Summersby, and safe from being terrorised further. Summersby Shelter was much nicer than Rossmore. I shared a cage with only 6 other cats and kept pretty much to myself. Carer Kylie worked there. She took the time to pet and cuddle the cats, but even though she was kind and caring, I had developed a deep mistrust of most humans because of my traumatic experience with those beastly boys. On 17th of January 2012, 2 ladies came to visit me. I think they were ladies. Anyway, they were female. I thought they were very nice, especially Jay, who spent a long time whispering in my ear. She kept telling me how gorgeous I was, and I thought she was very clever to know that so quickly. Anyway, they left after about an hour, and I thought, sadly, that was that. But no. The next day, Saturday 21st of January 2012, Jay came back to visit me with her friend, Carol. They both chatted to me, and I noticed that they had very strange accents. I think they were born in South Africa, where a lot of very big cats live. Before long, Kylie brought in a large blue box with holes in it and suddenly picked me up by the scruff of my neck and took me to David, who pricked me on my back with a needle. I was very brave and only cried a little bit. Then I was, unceremoniously, placed into the blue box with holes, and the lid was closed. After that, I was placed into another blue box. This one had 4 wheels, and Carol told me this was her car, whatever that is. It smelled different from the shelter, that's for sure. Then, after much noise, it suddenly started to move. I must admit, I cried quite loudly then. I don't ever want to be considered a scaredy cat, but it really was unnerving. To soothe me, Jay poked her finger in one of the holes and I licked it lots. I also kept poking my nose out of one of the holes and she stroked it softly. I found this a little reassuring. After what seemed like ages, movement stopped and Jay said, "We're home," and she carried me a short distance into a building behind a big green door. Once inside, she slowly lifted the lid of the blue box. For clarity, this was not the one with wheels, and I shot out of there like a greased monkey. Cat. Off I went under a large wooden shape which seemed a safe place to hole up until I got my bearings. And there I remained. No amount of Jay's whisperings could convince me to come out of hiding. Jay lay under the wooden shape with me. I was grateful for her company. I must have dozed off a while because I suddenly smelled a food smell on her fingers and I realised that I was actually quite hungry. So I decided to be brave, crawled out on my tummy and had a nibble. That's when Jay told me I had a new name. Gorgeous. That was very smart of her, because I certainly am that. She also told me that she would like me to call her Auntie Jay in future, and since I have a mum somewhere in the world, Auntie suits me just fine. It's 2025, and I'm Auntie Jay's owner. She thinks it's the other way around, and 'cause I'm caring and kind, I don't quibble at all. Suffice to say, I am fed whenever I mule. I sit on her favourite chair when I want to. I do zoomies without any warning. I sleep on her pillow on her bed any time of the day. Just a week ago, I stretched myself out over her chest, something I've never done before. This was to alert her that she has something not quite right in her left breast. I could smell it. Today, I heard her on the phone to her brother. "I have breast cancer," she said. The end.